Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Tiara here. Glad to see you all on virtual camera and here with my buddy Stan. What's up, Stan?
What's happening? Good morning, Asphalt Life community. We're so happy you're here this morning.
Yeah, for sure. And today we are kicking off our WWW series and excited to have Mark Rains on. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope we're staying sane out here in the shelter in place. I know I'm doing my best. So thanks to Atlas to let me interact with people. I appreciate it.
I know.
Absolutely.
It's like it's all come down to interacting through digital mediums, right? So fun times. It's
Yeah.
hopefully all of you all out there are staying safe and prioritizing your family and your businesses and doing what's best for you. I know that this is with the last time we were on our webinar together, we were having a completely different conversation, just kind of not knowing what the next couple of weeks would hold with Ryan at Sumo Quote. And so here we are talking about ways to successfully sell remote with EagleView works and the AtlasPro portal. And so we have some really intuitive tools that we believe will be essential to getting digital, setting up your virtual processes and making sure that all of that is in sync and makes a lot of sense for you and your business. So I'm excited to have you on, Mark. Thanks again for doing this.
Yeah.
No, thank
Thanks,
you
Mark.
for having us.
Appreciate you
Yep,
being here.
we
It's an important time to be exploring new tools and exploring new ways of doing business. We've been talking with a lot of contractors around the country and obviously internally about how can we continue to provide resources. And I think this is a really important topic of how you can sell remotely because I think that customers are going to continue to need roofs. And at the end of the day, we've got to figure out as service providers and manufacturers and partners to our contracting community, how do we make that pivot? And now it's more important than ever to be really prepared to make a pivot to remote selling.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so if you can hear us, we're so glad that you're on. It looks like we have a lot of people waiting in the queue and a lot that are already on. So if you can hear us, go ahead and pop something in the chat. Let us know that you're here and where you're chiming in from. We'd love to say good morning to you. And we'll be getting started here shortly. Good morning, Dustin. Hey, Ryan. The Atlas ProForce community is on. I see John from Orlando. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Florian says, I hear you loud and clear. Awesome. Hey, Corey.
Corey, how are you? Coming in
Uh,
hot. We got Mike, Angelica, Dave, Lauren, and Teresa all saying hello.
Hello. We got Stephen from Bristol, PA, and Keith from Connecticut. Good morning. Glad that you guys are on. And Ethan from Myrtle Beach is on. What's the weather down there, Ethan?
We got Tiffany from Maryland. We got Flint, Michigan in the house. Mr. Kirk May, how are you, sir?
Awesome.
Matt, Gina, Charlie, Darren from Louisiana. Paul, Chicago's in the house.
Hey.
Excellent, guys. We're so excited you guys are here.
Yeah, very excited. We want to make sure that we take advantage of the time. We're going to give a solid hour of really impactful information. So I'll pass it on to you, Stan, to go ahead and get
Excellent.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark, appreciate you being here. Let me do a quick rundown of the agenda, and then I'll do a little intro and let you get off and running talking about some of these great things. Our agenda today is really going to cover the following things. We're going to talk about common challenges that we think everybody's dealing with, and also current challenges, because I think that things have changed a little bit. A lot of the things you're going to see were already in the works. You like what I did there? Yeah. They were already in the works prior to the COVID-19 situation coming up. But it couldn't be more timely to really be talking about some of these current challenges and how business owners really need to be reassessing some of the things they're doing. We'll talk about trends and opportunities. And I think opportunity is a key word, because I was talking with a couple guys yesterday on our AtlasPro talk, and the key word was action. You have to take action right now because there is still opportunity. And then Mark's going to talk a little bit about why going virtual makes sense. He's going to do a little bit of a review and show us some of the cool things that EagleView Works is rolling out. We're going to talk about preparing for video conferencing and presenting on video, closing virtually, and we'll kind of open it up for some questions at the end, Mark. So with that, let me kind of give a formal introduction for Mark Rains. Here, Mark is the Director of Solution Sales at EagleView. So he's really spearheading the EagleView Works application launch, which is a fantastic tool, and couldn't be a better guy to do this because Mark's seen a lot of the evolution of the technology tools within the industry, but also at EagleView, being with them since 2013 as a regional sales manager, selling the world famous premium roof reports up and down the Eastern Seaboard to contractors and distributors. He then went to the UK to start EagleView's international sales operation, and now leads the Western US and Canadian sales teams as well. So, and Mark, you are coming to us live from Seattle, correct?
Well, no, I'm actually coming live to you from South Florida.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
had to get out of Seattle prior to the outbreak for some
Gotcha.
family stuff, and just decided to stay. And it's worst places to be locked down, to be honest with you.
Absolutely, so. Absolutely. Well, without further ado, Mark, the floor is yours, and welcome to the Atlas Wednesday weekly webinar.
Yeah, thanks, Stan. Thanks, Tiara. Atlas has just been an incredible partner since I've been with EagleView for the past 7+ years. All the road shows that I've attended, Stan just knocks it out of the park, and working closely with Tiara over the past couple weeks to get this webinar up and running and informative for you folks is it's a really dynamic partnership that we have with Atlas. So thanks for the invitation. We really appreciate it, and I'm going to get into it. So Stan talked about our just kind of like the content of what we're going through this morning. And what we found, there was a third-party survey done prior to this COVID-19 outbreak that somebody did late last year, and some of the common challenges or the pain points that contractors were seeing out there in the marketplace was right here on the screen. I mean, finding experienced employees, trying to transition somebody from outside of the roofing industry and turn them into a professional roofing sales rep was a serious pain point for organizations to go out there, grow their market, grow their revenue. So what we've done and what I'll show you when we're touring the tools is this EV Works platform as well as AtlasPro. You can put these tools in these inexperienced people's hands and really turn them into a professional, probably in less than an hour. It's about one training session. So with that being said, that kind of runs parallel or transitions to like the second biggest pain point, and that's like turning or creating estimates, accurate estimates. The last thing you guys want to do on jobs is lose money. So having an inexperienced employee create estimates on their own could be a headache for you in the long term. So with EagleView Works and the AtlasPro app, you guys can create accurate estimates using the EagleView Premium Report data with just one click or two clicks of a button, right? So another thing too is getting from proposal to contract. So if we can easily make that transition from proposal to contract, you guys are going to start signing more deals, and they're going to be accurate. The sales representative's going to be confident going into that sales call, whether it be in person or futuristically speaking, which is now over a webinar. They're going to go in there confident, knowing that they aren't going to lose money on this job and know what kind of commissions that they're going to make. So it's those are some of the common challenges or the main pain points that we saw, and these are from your peers that actually dedicated their time to this survey. So with that being said,
let's hit on that finding experienced employees thing here too as we pivot to the next slide, which is fine, TR, you can click ahead, but I think that's a really important thing too, because there's going to be a lot of people that got laid off that are going to be looking for opportunities. And as a construction company, as a roofing contracting business, there's going to be people that are looking to get into new industries, get into new lines of work that are going to be coming from outside of the industry. And I think that's been a theme forever, right? People come in from other types of sales situations into construction, and that is a challenge of how do you onboard people and train people. And I think having the right technology tools, the right processes in place is going to be really, really big. So I think that survey that was done prior to COVID-19, I would bet that that's going to be an even bigger challenge for business owners in the construction world as they get a lot of applicants from outside of the industry. So
yeah, well said, Stan. And it's almost, when you're interviewing somebody, you're looking for somebody that's moldable, that's a good culture fit, right? And then if your organization has the proper tech stacks or tech tools to get these guys or gals up and running, as soon as possible, you're going to be winning a lot of these projects that are out there in the marketplace. So
absolutely.
So this was done, like Stan said, this was done prior to the pandemic that we're going through. And what I did to find some of the current challenges, and I don't know if these are affecting people on the line here, but we've reached out to a lot of our really close partners, and I talked to some of my regional managers of what they're hearing out there, and there's the bad, there's the ugly, and there is the good, right? There is some opportunity, but just to touch on some of the bad portions of it, homeowners are canceling sales appointments, and that is just such a bummer for everybody inside the roofing industry ecosystem. Because if homeowners are canceling the appointments, that means that shingles aren't going on, sales aren't being made, EagleView reports aren't being ordered. So how do we transition or give homeowners options, which we'll get into the good part, with using tech stacks, right? So another thing too is that companies are keeping their employees working remotely at their home or within their office. So that means that like canvassers aren't going out there and knocking doors and generating leads for their organization, right? And another thing too is that when you're trying to sell over the phone and not necessarily what we're interacting right now on this webinar, it's not as personable as you are sitting across from the kitchen table. So you can verbally explain over the phone what you're going to do to the roof, but if you don't have the visual cues that you're used to using with that in-home sales and now these webinar sales, it's going to be tough to sell over the phone. So that's just some of the bad that we're hearing out there, and we're going to offer up some options to turn those bads into good, right? The ugly, I hate that word. Oh, sorry, Tira. Just if you can go back one slide, thanks. The ugly, it is kind of ugly out there. So homeowners are starting to tighten up their cash flow, right? And roofs are big ticket items, and a lot of these homeowners right now with the volatility in the stock market, they don't really want to unload $10, $15, $20,000 in cash on a new roof, and so that's halting production as well too. So another one that's kind of out of our hands is the shelter in place, where there are some states, Washington being one of them, where they're calling roofing non-essential, which is a head scratcher for me, because when you think of Seattle, you think of rain, right? And when you think of rain, you think of leaky roofs, and with them calling it non-essential, it boggles my mind. So I know that we have some good lobbyists at the NRCA to open up doors to get this non-essential portion of the business back, and hopefully it comes back sooner rather than later, right? And then obviously the economic uncertainty. We're in a consumer-led recession right now, and it goes back to homeowners really tightening the screws on their finances. So
yeah, and if you're looking for resources on that specifically, what your local shelter-in-place policies are, there are some really fabulous resources through the NRCA website. So nrca.net, make sure that you go there if you want to understand what your state is doing and what the policies are, because there's a lot of gray area in some of this language. So just make sure you go to nrca.net to check out the latest on that. It's a great point. You need to know what's happening so that you can stay compliant, because even if there is a shelter in place and we agree or disagree with why it's happening, we need to make sure that we don't set ourselves up to be getting fined or putting our employees in harm's way.
Yeah, well said. I mean, Colorado put a non-essential place on roofing on Friday 2 weeks ago, and then that following Tuesday it became essential again. So
Yeah.
it
And I'm going
can
to
be done.
post in the chat too. I'm going to send a link to everybody in the chat that's listening. There's a fantastic article on jlconline.com on the coronavirus construction limit state by state tracker. So it shows which states are considered non-essential. And right now today, Pennsylvania, New York, and Washington are the 3 states that are considered non-essential for construction. However, building material suppliers have not been declared non-essential in any state. So you think about that. The suppliers can be open in New York, Pennsylvania, and Washington, but the construction trade cannot actually be out doing any work. So as you said, a lot of gray area. Keep tabs on that stuff.
Yep. So next slide, Tiara, please. Did we lose her?
Looks like we might have lost Tiara. Uh-oh. I'm gonna, Uh-oh. Well, we'll sort of talk amongst ourselves. I'm sure you'll be right back. Her computer, she just texted me that her computer shut down. Can you give Mark control? So, hang on one second. I'm going to take control.
Road, North, right? Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I've got the presentation here. I just need to pull it up. So if you'll just bear with us just a second. Many apologies. This is why we have backup plans. One second. All right, I am taking control and we are going to pop open our slide deck. So let me know when you can see it again there, Mark. Is it showing up there for you?
Yep.
Excellent. So we were moving on to trends and let's pop that open and we should be good to go.
Yeah, so
rock and roll.
Yeah, thanks. That was a nice breather for me, actually, probably for you too, Dan. But yeah, so some of the trends we're starting to see out in the marketplace is the nice thing in our roofing marketplace is that technology is starting to be adopted more rapidly than before. So we as a society, we live in this on-demand culture. I mean, if you think about Amazon Prime and Netflix and some of these larger organizations, Amazon Prime, I mean, you order something right now and you get it tomorrow, right? So people's subconscious and their mental attitudes are, hey, we want it now. So how do we transition that in the roofing industry to, selling jobs, remotely or in on the spot? So book an appointment, stay with that appointment, sell that appointment, right? And another thing too that we're starting to see out in the out in society is that customers are really starting to buy big ticket items online. I mean, if you look at some of the examples that we have here, people are buying cars online. So Elon Musk and Tesla, he's selling $100,000 plus automobiles, and people are eating it up and buying them. Open Door is a great example. People can buy $250,000 homes online. It's just with like virtual tours. It's that's such a great and such a, like, whoever thought of that idea was really, really brilliant. And then you have Blue Nile, so people are buying like very expensive jewelry online. And one thing that I think we all need to think about within the roofing industry is, like, roofing is a big ticket item as well too. Like I said, it could be anywhere from $8,000 for a roof to up to $100,000 for a roof if you're selling, one of those Tesla solar roofs, right? So I firmly believe that this interaction, kind of like what we're having right now, where you can see my face and if the homeowner's on the other screen, we can kind of ease that nervousness by using technology tools to sell roofs and these big ticket items to homeowners. So it's if the roofing contractor, if I'm scared to sell a big ticket item, over a webinar, the homeowner certainly isn't going to buy. So confidence is critical, and that's why we want to talk about these tools such as EagleView Works and the AtlasPro app to help, raise that confidence level within, your organizations to sell these big ticket items.
Yeah, it's such a great point, and looks like Tiara was able to jump back on and took back over. So thanks, Tiara. But I think you're making an incredible point, and I think one of the most interesting things that is going to come of this COVID-19 situation that's sort of forcing everybody to sort of rethink their business is it is going to accelerate these trends, right? Like everybody's going to sort of say, okay, you know what? I actually do feel a little bit more comfortable because I've been on 30 Zoom calls in the last 2 weeks, so I probably would be more willing to do some of these large purchases online, right? And so I think these trends that were sort of like people were playing around with it, they were trying to figure out how to build this into their business model, are now going to see that this could be my business model. And I personally don't believe that we're ever going to get completely away from face-to-face interaction, but I do think this is going to become a much more normal, and the trend is going to accelerate because of necessity. So it's a great point, Mark.
Yeah, it's all about flexibility. It really is. I totally agree with you. There's just something about that human interaction, and especially in the market that we're in or the industry that we're in. Some of these homeowners want to touch and feel the Atlas sample boards and feel the 3M granules and stuff like that. So it'll never fully go away. However, we have to make do with the times that we're in. So that's a good point.
Yeah, we have 2 comments real quick, just as we'll click to the next slide, Tiara. We have a great comment from Bria on sold jobs. Contractors are saying, or they're saying that their sold jobs are being postponed, not canceled. So a little bit of positive news. So I'm sure some of you are experiencing some cancellations, but hopefully people still see the need and are postponing. Let's see. So there's another comment from John Hill. When discussing trends, is there a plan to stop commoditization of roofing? We're not selling Teslas, we're selling custom roofs that people think are all the same. I think it's a great point you make, John. I think, that goes back to your personal business strategy. I think there are contractors out there that are finding ways to decommoditize. Some of the way you decommoditize what you're selling is the process with which you sell and how you present and the types of things you're building into that. So we could certainly cover more of that in a separate topic, John, but it is a great point. What everybody's got to be doing is figuring out ways to not allow what you're selling to be commoditized. Some of that's product, some of that's warranty, some of that is service, some of that is the way you install roofs, some of that is the presentation tools and how you present your value proposition. So great comments, guys. We appreciate those. So Mark, let's talk about current opportunities.
That's a really interesting comment, John. And I think there are ways that every roofing contractor runs their business differently, and everybody is unique within their sales approach. So like Stan's point, if you focus on warranty work and trying to upsell and stuff like that, you can create a very nice experience for that homeowner. So with that being said, we talked about the bad, we talked about the ugly. So let's talk about some opportunities, like the good. Pivoting to video calls, right? We noticed that about close to 50% of homeowners are canceling those in-home sales appointments. Well, now using EagleView Works, using the AtlasPro app, Zoom, GoToMeeting, many tech stacks out there, you can offer options to the homeowner where you never have to be in their home, and keep those sales appointments while ensuring your sales reps safety, right? So what we're doing right now, engaging your homeowners with video is a really nice way for that personal touch, rather than just calling them up over the phone and trying to explain to them. You can use the visual aids, kind of like the PowerPoint presentation that we're going through right now, and it's just a nice option to give the homeowner, rather than just letting that lead that you probably paid money for just go away. So we need to do everything in our power to help you guys and gals keep those leads and sell those jobs. So using technology to get accurate estimates. Like EagleView's been a mainstay and a major player in the roofing tech space for over 10 years, and our reports are tried, tested, and true. And you can use those EagleView reports within the EagleView Works platform, the AtlasPro platform, to create accurate estimates before you even, talk with that homeowner over the webinar. And we'll show you some examples here. So using the EagleView Premium report data can help you guys create those accurate estimates, and it gives you an advantage not going out to the job site and kind of like social distancing yourself from that homeowner, and where the only person that persons that from your organization that are going to be out at the job site is the installation team. And I have to imagine that from ground to the roof is more than 6 feet, and if they're up there on the roof, then they're probably doing a good job of social distancing and installing the roof properly and protecting the assets on the interior of the home. So yeah. Another one is reach out to some old leads. Maybe reach, these past couple of weeks where homeowners were canceling appointments, and you still have the canvassers on staff. Rather than them go out and knock doors, why not have them pick up the phone and reach out to some of these old leads from the previous weeks or previous years, just to touch base with them over the phone and try to get a demo on the books for that sales representative that they work close with. So we can turn those leads that we've lost into we can turn them into hopefully some sales appointments over webinar, which and then it keeps the canvassers at work as well too. So it's a nice way to keep the employees driving for the end goal of getting that contract signed. Financing, we talked about the volatility of the stock market. Financing starting to become more prevalent in the roofing industry, where if homeowners don't want to shell out $8,000 or $20,000 for a roof, there's many great financing options out there that you can work with and help that homeowner, just make payments on a monthly basis for that brand new roof, where they can, like I said, protect the assets on the interior of their home.
Financing too, Mark, I would jump in and just say that, the financing side is so important too, even now with, storm restoration work, because of the deductible situation. I think that consumers are going to be looking for more financing options in times of economic uncertainty. So, if your deductible's $1,000 or $1,500, even if it's a lower deductible than some, states like Texas, where it may be 1 or 2% of home value, that still may be a very attractive option. And even just offering credit cards really transparently, I think, is important. We talk a lot about this, but I also know that there's a lot of financing companies out there that are seeing what's happening now, and with rate drops, there's some really good deals on financing right now too for no programs, 6, 12, and 18 months. So we have 2 partnerships with Green Sky and Foundation Finance, and both of them are running specials right now on no interest, no payment. So that may bridge the gap between very uncertain situation now and 12 to 18 months from now, hopefully less uncertainty, when they can pay that off with no interest and no payments. So take a look at all those options right now. It's such a great point, Mark.
Yeah. And roofing season is really upon us, right? So now that we're in April, right? April showers bring May flowers. So the rain is going to start coming. And if, when those roofs start leaking and the ceilings start getting stained and they need these full installs, financing is just a fantastic option to offer, those homeowners to get that roof installed, and you guys can keep your business going as well too. Another thing, we talked about the shelter in place policy, where some construction is exempt except for Washington, New York, and Pennsylvania. So roofing is considered essential in the other 47. And, with storm season coming as well too, it's time to be prepared to, go out there and handle the storm damage, as well as the rainstorms that are coming too. So you can capitalize on that opportunity. And then one thing I think is really critical, and it kind of goes back to what Stan was saying, with people being furloughed right now from their jobs, is give your organization flexibility to scale your sales team. So using these tech stacks such as EagleView Works and the AtlasPro app, you can train these folks that are outside the roofing industry and get them up to speed, ASAP. And with like webinar sales, you guys can actually maybe do some some coaching or some role play with each other to get them ready to go and become a professional roofing salesman. And you can hire hunters right now because they seem to be doing a really good job and reaching out to old leads and coming up with some creative ways to close roofing projects. And then the last one is using like data analytics to make your sales team better. So, sales staffs can become more efficient using data points with like EagleView Works. We can show you some analytics page if you want to learn more later, but it really offers the opportunity for organizations to transition from this like in-person sales to a web sales a lot smoother than where we're at right now. So you guys can see using data, leveraging the data, where the sales reps are kind of stumbling and fumbling or where they're doing like extremely well, and just use data for those kind of coaching moments for that sales representative.
Great. Yep.
So why go virtual? You get more with less. It's kind of an ambiguous statement. However, right now or prior to the COVID pandemic, people were driving out to job sites and going out trying to sell homeowners, and they would leave that job site. And if you're in a big city like, say, perhaps Chicago, and you have to drive from the north side of Chicago down to the south side of Chicago, heck, it could take you hour and a half, 2 hours to get in between those appointments. So it's a lot of windshield time that could be spent selling. So with the virtual sales, you can book demos or sales presentations, appointments, kind of back to back to back to back, and it allows you to visit or see more homeowners in a given day, and then using the technology as well too, right? That kind of goes in parallel with like the accuracy and speed. Using EagleView reports, you can buy EagleView reports through the AtlasPro app, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But having that like pre-call plan set up where you have your estimates ready, and depending on how you do your business, like good, better, best, you can have all of those estimates created prior to that call. The sales rep feels confident, and the sales rep will have like a consistent flow of how they sell those particular jobs. And like I said, they can see more homeowners in a given day, which is really, really great for business.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little screenshot down there of me selling a home to a lovely homeowner there, and showing one of our photographs from EV Works. And I might be wearing the same shirt as I am right now, so sorry about that.
Haven't changed in 2 weeks, right?
It's tough. It really is.
What I love about these Zoom calls, all you see is right here, right?
Absolutely. So the tools to help you guys go virtual. Obviously, the foundation you need is a webinar platform. So there's plenty out there, and you just have to determine which webinar platform works best for your organization and what price works best for your organization. So we've put a couple down here, a couple options: Zoom, GoToMeeting, Join.me, Google Meets. It's it might be nice to have different options for your organization depending on what the homeowner is comfortable using. Zoom seems to be a big one, as well as GoToMeeting. So with that being said, when you have that platform of the webinar platform, then you can use the tools to get into that sales appointment, and those tools are EagleView Works and the AtlasPro app. So using EagleView Works to create estimates or go into presentation mode to show photographs of the roof, which will be our aerial photography from our planes, the high resolution imagery. We have like a nice presentation section where you guys can upload any documents that make your sales presentation like really attractive to the homeowner. You can add Atlas brochures in there, and I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. But any of those, any presentation documents or any of your sales pitch books can be uploaded into these tools and really enhance that homeowner experience. So it's
awesome.
it's
and these
exciting.
video tools are they're so easy to use today. They've gotten so easy, and I mean, we've been doing GoToMeetings obviously for bigger things like this, but we've been using Zooms for our Facebook Lives. We've been using Google Hangouts and Google Meets for our internal staff meetings. So we're using it all. Try it all, because it is very affordable, relatively speaking, and most of them have free trials. So that'd be another thing I'd recommend, is try everything and see what feels the best. That's why there's options for you. We have a couple of questions that popped up here. Ethan asked, do we have some information we can get on those financing specials that are available? So Tiara and Lauren Carlson in our marketing department are actually working up some email blasts that are going to go out about financing specials that are available starting for the month of April, it's today. It's April Fool's Day. So April 1st, you'll be getting an email within the next day or so, as long as you have an AtlasPro account, with those green sky and foundation specials. So look for those. Another question here from Greg English, which maybe you're going to touch on here, Mark, but I think is really, really good one. All this is exciting, but how do I estimate accurately for pipe flashings, vents, et cetera, things like that? So when you get into like the specificity of that estimate, how does EagleView Works or EagleView Reports or maybe the high-res imagery, how are you guys recommending that?
Yeah. So we can talk penetrations. The thing is like, so on some of those like lead pipes where they're 1 inch, 2 inch, or 3 inch, we can certainly see them on the roof. We just can't determine if it's a 1 inch, 2 inch, or 3 inch. So when you're using the high resolution imagery, you can kind of see like the kitchen vents or those like lead pipes. And I don't think that the pricing from a 1 inch to a 3 inch is so outrageous that it's gonna, detriment the estimate. But what we recommend is maybe your install team just brings out the boxes of the different sizes of the like the lead boots, or the lead boots, to they know which ones to install in those particular areas. But that's a really good question, actually.
Yeah, and Greg asked a follow-up question too on how can you photograph hail or wind without going to the site. I think these are the challenges that are everybody's trying to work through. And I think if you're in a state where construction has not been deemed non-essential, I don't think what we would say is you can't go to the job site. I think most of this goes back to how you're interacting with the consumer, the homeowner, your potential customer. So you may still need to have somebody out on that job site to actually get on the roof and take photographs and document those photographs for the insurance paperwork. You may still need to go out and clarify certain things from the EagleView report, such as penetrations and things like that. So I think that those are the things that I think everybody's sort of trying to figure out and work through. And we actually got some information yesterday. If you watch the AtlasPro talk that's on Facebook Live, with the essential letters and the essential badges that your inspectors and your repair guys need to have on them. So again, they can still be out on the job site, but again, it's just about making sure that they're not interacting with the homeowner. And where EagleView Works and the AtlasPro tools really come in, what we're trying to really talk about here is the estimating side, and really the proposal side and the presentation side of things. And so again, I think there's always going to be a need to make sure that you can get on job site. But then, too, you guys are rolling some things out with drones as well, right, Mark? And working on drone technology. So some guys may be needing to look at, having a drone to take that up and get some more of that specificity. But really, really good questions, Greg.
Yeah, I was going to say you could definitely jump on and utilize the drone footage downloaded, and then you can add it within the Works tool, right, Mark?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. So you can take photographs through the Works application, and those photographs go directly back to the office staff as well too, where you guys can compile your your insurance documents to get that approved. Stan and I are part of the this Catalyst group, and actually we saw that Liberty Mutual is not allowing adjusters to leave the office. So this could be a good opportunity for storm restoration contractors to go out there and kind of handle the claim on the front end and send over all the documentation to Liberty Mutual to get that job approved.
Yeah. A couple more questions and then we'll move forward here. The links to all of this stuff will be emailed afterwards, so you'll get a copy of the presentation deck today, as well as a link to the video presentation. So we've had multiple questions about that, and just rest assured you'll get a copy of it. And then if you are looking for more information about how high resolution the images from EagleView get and what the difference in their report types are, Mark's information will be included in that. So you can reach out to EagleView directly and they can talk to you all about that. Another great comment from Sophia. Sophia says, please check local laws and permitting requirements for drones, which are required in some counties and some states. Really, really good point. There, you can actually get drone certified to use it for business purposes, and that is a requirement in some areas. So make sure there is a difference between personal use and business commercial use for drones. So make sure you're not going to run afoul of any local jurisdiction on that. So excellent point, Sophia. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good education there. Cool. Do you guys want to handle the AtlasPro app?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Stan, do you want to jump into it, or I can?
Yeah, real quick. We won't spend too much time because we want to get you back into your demo, Mark, to show EagleView works off here. But in a nutshell, if you have a pro contractor account, it's probably the way most of you found out about this webinar. Or you can create an account if you do not have one. It's a free account, and really it's there to provide lots of tools for you and to present new opportunities for you. Go ahead and click to the next slide, and we just want to show you that you've been able to order EagleView reports, premium reports, and quick square reports for a while now. But we are rolling out some enhancements to sort of coincide with EagleView Works, which if you can click to the next slide there, Tiara. Basically, when you log into your account, you'll see your sales rep information at the right. You'll see jobs and rewards and things like that. But if you click under measurement and estimating tools, go ahead and click the EagleView button. And once you've clicked into the EagleView button, you'll see a list view of all your reports, the type of report. You can click or you can see the status of the report if you're wondering where it is. And then the order report button up at the top will be where you can order your reports. So if you click on that button, that will take you to the ordering screen. Right now, you can order reports, and then within the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a really cool enhancement rolled out that's going to give you the ability to zoom in on a map and actually see it and order it just the way you would on EagleView's website or application as well. And then we'll be doing some data integrations with EagleView Works to make the warranty and job submission process even easier. And also, if you're earning Atlas bucks through our Atlas Pro Plus program, which every contractor is eligible to participate in our Atlas Pro Plus program, those Atlas bucks can be used for EagleView report ordering. So make sure that you guys check that out as well. So with that, yeah, we'll kind of pivot back to a couple things about video calls and then dive into the application and see EagleView Works. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, totally. So working with a couple contractors that actually have adopted this webinar way of selling, kind of stole some tips and tricks from them, and it's pretty basic, but it's something that should be stated. And one is you start every call with the video on, end every call with the video. Try to get the homeowner or homeowners to have the video on as well too, so you can pick up on some visual cues as you would sitting across from them at the kitchen table. It really keeps them engaged when you have a video to video conversation rather than just over the phone. One thing that we're running into is like dogs barking or children running in the background, and that's just, it's the new normal, right? So just be flexible and lighthearted when it happens. If you have a good joke or something like that when that does happen, it's it just keeps the conversation going, and it really makes it personable. So another thing too is understand, like I thought this through, and like kind of understand where your video camera is on your computer, and put the video box like directly under it, so you're talking to the video and you're not like looking down if it's like down in this downhand, in the corner there, and it kind of throws off the whole flow. So it really looks like you're talking and engaging with that homeowner. And then another thing I didn't have on there that I thought about last night was is backgrounds. With Zoom, you can do like a virtual background if you have a flat wall behind you. And one thing I was thinking of, why couldn't you guys take pride in your work? Why couldn't you show or upload a nice photograph of a previous job that you did? And I see, you got to be lighthearted when this kind of stuff happens. It's no problem. But think about that. So if you have like a really beautiful home that you guys have just installed, put that in the background, and you can talk about it with with those homeowners and be like, hey, I just want to show you that we did this house a couple blocks away that was 120 squares, and it's just cool. It's really slick looking. So I thought about that last night, and just something to keep in mind there.
Absolutely.
And then the next slide. Yep. And then closing virtually. With EagleView Works, you can update proposals. You can make changes during the call if the homeowner is negotiating with you on pricing. EagleView Works allows you guys to email the proposal and contract to those homeowners where they can digitally sign. You'll get a notification when they do sign. And then since you have their email address and phone numbers, you can follow up with them via email, maybe offer another video call if they are still hesitant or have any other questions about moving forward. And right now, a big thing is getting digital signatures. People don't want to be touching other people's pens right now. So what you can do is you can just sign with your finger right on EagleView Works. And I think we will get into the EagleView Works platform.
Excellent. While Mark's pulling that up, and Chair, if you want to go ahead and give him control for that, I'll address a couple of questions here. So Alicia Scott asks, can we set up our sales team under separate profiles that will have the main account owner to see all reports? Excellent question. That's actually available today, Alicia. So the Pro portal works basically just like that. So the master account is set up, and then all of your salespeople can have their own accounts as well linked to you. So you can manage that under My Company profile in the top right corner of your Pro account, and you can set up all your sub accounts. If you need help with that, if some sub accounts already exist but they're not linked to you, contact your local rep and they can get those connections made. Then any EagleView reports or warranties or jobs or anything like that that have been entered will roll up to that master account. And then we're also working on, if you've ordered EagleView reports directly with EagleView, that we're going to make a connection so that anything you do on the EagleView side or on the Atlas side all speaks to each other through sort of a single sign-on type environment. So that's something that'll be coming later on in the year as well. So great question, Alicia, and we'll go from there. Mark, let's see EagleView Works.
Yeah, so EagleView Works is a multi-faceted platform. It's a mobile app on iOS, on iPads, and you can also use it on the desktop. What I'm showing you right here is the desktop version, works.eagleview.com, and we can create, provision, and customize accounts to contractors' businesses, and it's a very simple workflow from capturing the lead to creating estimates, taking photographs, presenting to the homeowner, and then getting the proposal and contract signed. So I know we have about 7 minutes left, so I'm gonna breeze through this. And if you guys have any questions, or if you're interested in like one-on-one demos prior to this call, please reach out to me and we can get that on the books. So pretty self-explanatory. You click on Add New Lead. You start typing in the homeowner's details. You ask for their phone number. You ask for their email address, which is really critical because that's where all the important documentation that is uploaded to the contract, proposal, estimate, anything you guys want to send them, this is where it's going to be sent to. And then one cool feature is we have it automated addresses. So as the homeowner is giving you the address, you can ask them, oh, you're in Winter Park, Florida, 32789 Wright Avenue. They're like, yep. You hit save. It pulls up the map, drops the pin right there on the roof. You can order measurements directly through the EagleView Works app, and then we can fully customize these different roofing jobs that you guys do. If you only do repairs, we would only have repairs in there for you, but we can make it anything that fits your company's needs. We also have like lead sources that are customized directly to your organization, so you guys can keep track of lead analytics to make sure that the money you're paying for marketing is being allocated properly. So I am going to show you how to set an appointment, and then I'm going to move to an opportunity where there's already measurements in place. So to create an appointment, you click the ellipses here, and let's say the homeowner wants to meet virtually at Friday. The nice thing is that Bob Robertson is booked up from 12 to 1 p.m. on Friday, but we can get this done at 9 a.m. for 1 hour. You hit schedule, and boom. So Bob Robertson has an appointment on his calendar now. So ordering EagleView measurements, you just click order EV data, and then the measurements will be right on their way. We have a special SLA, which is a sales license agreement for turnaround times with EagleView reports if you order them through EagleView Works. So just like a little cherry on top. So I'm going to back out of this. And
that's super slick. So you've made it so easy to schedule an appointment, get the EagleView data, and make sure that stuff all pulls in before you even have to go in and present that estimate and build that proposal.
Yep, exactly correct.
Yeah.
And a nice thing too, Stan, is that you can see when this lead was created, who it was created by, when the EagleView measurements were made available, when the appointment was booked, when it was changed into an opportunity. And we kind of just move from left to right here, where we click on estimates, and you guys can create estimates to your company's standards. So right here we have 3 different estimates. We have Atlas Pinnacle, Atlas Storm Master Lifetime, and AtlasPro Lam. So the data is being pulled from the EagleView report directly into these different estimates that we can create for you, or you guys can create on your own. So I'm going to scroll down here, and the EagleView report data is telling me that for an Atlas Pinnacle roof, this job's going to be $13,900. And if you wanted to manipulate the waste, if it's just a little bit cut up, as you move the waste, the price of the estimate goes up, and you can manipulate the labor and profits as well too. So I'm going to hit save here, and I'm going to scroll up, and you can see the different pricing of the Atlas Storm Master Lifetime. So when you order the EagleView reports, you then can create estimates prior to meeting with that homeowner virtually or remotely. And you guys can actually add in proposal addendums to this. So if you wanted to add manufacturer catalogs, or anything that you guys want for your proposal, you guys can certainly add that. And job start date, actually let me do May. So job start date, and then you guys can have the proposal valid to whatever your company abides by. So from here is where it gets very cool. So we've created our estimate, we've created the documentation we want within our proposal, and on the presentation mode, which I just clicked, if you're using the mobile application, you'll have access to a 3D visualization tool, which can show off the house from the ground up. You can change the roof colors. You can show off different measurements to really educate that homeowner on why you're putting ice and water shield in the valley to keep the the water out, right? Protect the inside. This presentation mode is really slick because on the right-hand side during the webinar, the homeowner can actually see the different proposals and the different pricing for however you guys name your estimates. In this case, we have Pinnacle, Pro Lam, and Lifetime. You can add photographs out on the job site through the app, and they would come directly back into here. Since I didn't visit this job site in Seattle, I was just using some of the aerial photography that we have. But if you want,
but this would be all their photos that they wanted to manually add as well. So it's sort of fully customizable, but fully customizable based on what they input into the system.
Correct. So So
Yeah,
on the
very cool.
mobile application, there would be an add photos. So you can add from your photo library, or you can add from your camera roll, and
Cool.
it'll all show up right here. And you can edit and annotate the photographs
Okay.
through the mobile app to show where the damage is, and really bring that sense of urgency to the homeowner.
Very cool.
What I talked about earlier is like your sales presentation pieces or your pitch books. If you wanted to show off why your company is first class, or maybe it's some jobs that you previously done, you have all of this easily accessible within the app. And you can explain to the homeowner over a webinar to make them feel warm and fuzzy about going forward with you by showing them these different presentation pieces. One I really like, thank you Tiara for sending this over, is this Atlas one, and it really brings a nice visual cue to show that the Atlas with Scotch Guard protector is going to save you from those those ugly black streaks that happen to shingles. So you can upload as many documents as you want into this into this platform to really enhance that customer experience. And from here, let's say that the homeowner's like, you know what, Mark, we really liked your presentation. We're going to go with the Atlas Pinnacle. We click on this ellipses here, and we click approve, and it's going to take us to HelloSign, which is gathering all the documents for your contract that you uploaded into that proposal addendum. And the HelloSign will just be a digital signature that, one, you can email to the homeowner and they can digitally sign. You get a notification, or if you wanted to flip the screen to them, they can take their mouse or on the iPad, just sign with their fingertips.
Very cool.
And,
yeah.
Yes.
Incredibly important tools, yeah, to get that virtual signature and actually continue to get contracts signed regardless of whether you can be face to face with them or not. So really, really cool stuff, Mark, that you're showing here. Obviously, EagleView Works is a new tool, a new application that you guys are getting out. So those of you that are interested and have additional questions, we've had several things come in here, a couple that I'll point out. Do y'all help contractors prepare individual company PowerPoint presentations for that area that you were showing for that pitch book to sort of reflect their brag book, so to speak? That comes from Greg. So Mark, I don't know if that's something that you guys are going to be assisting with, and if not,
Yeah.
Atlas also has some opportunities there.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. So what we do when we provision your account or technically onboard or set up is we would take all of the documents that you guys typically use in your sales process now and upload them into your account and upload them into the proper areas so you can easily access them in the presentation mode. So we help do that on EagleView's end with the documentation that you provide from us.
Cool. And Greg, just so you know too, Atlas, you can see all the different things that you want to include. Those individual documents sort of get flown in or all sort of dropped in here to this HelloSign. If you're looking for some assistance also in sort of building out that pitch book, Atlas has some really cool tools as well that we could port over into the EagleView Works tool from a testimonial tool that's rolled out, and then also just if you're looking for, hey, I need a deck that shows some of the products that I'm installing and a couple slides on dirty roofs and Scotch Guard technology, we can help you pull that together. So Tiara, who's on this call, and our marketing team can get that stuff to you. So really, really cool stuff there. Comment from John Hill. Can you make that slider stop at 35% so we can all make some money for the waste factors? So I don't know if they can do that, but that's a good point.
So actually, John, if you want, you can set floors for your sales representatives. If you don't want them going below 35%, you can set that floor where they can't go below 35%, and they can sell higher than that. Good question.
Just remember, lot lower waste with Atlas HP42. So shameless plug right there. Yeah, awesome stuff. We appreciate the demo. Tiara, if you want to kind of pull it back to our deck, and we'll round things out here and close the webinar out. So let's see. Yeah, so great comments, guys. Again, you guys will get a copy of this, both from a presentation perspective, also as we'll give you the deck itself. And Tiara, yeah, if you want to take control back, and I don't know if we have any final slides to show or if that was the end of the deck there.
No, we just any questions that you guys may have, go ahead and pop those into the chat. We have about 1 more minute left. I know that Mark, we definitely want to make your information available, so we'll do that. I'm actually going to put in the chat here for everyone your information and populate that right now.
Cool.
So that they can contact you.
Yeah, and when you get that email with the information from the webinar and you have any specific questions or you want us to reach out to you, please let us know, and we'll be happy to do that. Let's see. So another question from Alicia. Does HelloSign come with EagleView Works profile, or is that a separate membership? So is that HelloSign sort of built into the subscription fee for the EagleView Works?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's actually built into the subscription fee, so there's no extra charge for the HelloSign.
Awesome. And you guys, I'm assuming there's some sort of like an onboarding cost and fee, and then there's sort of like a subscription fee to this. Can you maybe briefly explain that, what that looks like? And you don't have to get into too many specifics if you don't want, but just generally how it works.
Yeah, so rack rate for this is going to be $50 per user per month, and there is a $999 onboarding fee. And Stan, I spoke with peers about this webinar, and what we want to offer to everybody on this webinar is a first year rate of $129.99 per user for the full year. So it's about the same price as an Amazon Prime subscription, and waive the onboarding fee as well too, which comes with the full provisioning of the account, as well as training the sales staff to get them up and running and using it virtually and in home when that comes back.
That's awesome. So guys, you can get up and running with EagleView Works and see if this application is a good fit for your company. They're waiving a $1,000 onboarding fee, as well as offering it to you for a year for $129 per user. So I think it's definitely worth giving it a go, and they're making it very attractive to get started here. So Mark, we appreciate that. We appreciate everything we're doing with EagleView. There's a lot more fun things to come. And Mark, we'll see you in August at our Platinum Contractor event, and then we'll be doing more content as well. So for our Asphalt Life community, we really appreciate you being here today. And thank you, Mark, so much for sharing some awesome information with us.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for the invitation. Really, really powerful stuff between both of our organizations, and I just hope the attendees learned a couple things and can maneuver and manipulate these abnormal times, and that we're both EagleView and Atlas are here for all you folks. So if you guys need anything, just don't hesitate to ask.
Awesome. Thanks. Have a great one. We'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Live and play.
Bye.